What does it mean to be crisp? I don't know what that means.
Crisp, the act of starting a podcast.
Okay.
All right, forget you bitches. I'm just gonna start this goddamn thing.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 27.
Nailed it.
Hardly Serious, the podcast where we talk about stuff. Hi, my name is Kenway.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Logan.
I'm Caleb.
You all still know your own names. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Almost, guys, as proud. Almost as proud as I am of Julia Rose. Do you guys know who Julia Rose is?
Is she a porn
Of
star?
course I do.
Nope.
That sounds like a porn star name.
Well, I don't know if she might be.
right? Stripper name.
Who knows? In 2021, anyone could be. Who fucking knows? But
They got
more
OnlyFans?
importantly, she is one of the 6 people who. Remember a couple weeks ago we talked about the people that changed the Hollyboob sign.
Yeah, of course.
6 people were arrested during that. Apparently, is the is the update. Partially because Quantity One Julia Rose posted her fucking picture in front of it and was like, "Finally fixed the sign," and put it on Twitter.
That's a pretty baller move,
People
though,
are
right?
stupid.
Like, you're not going to get any cred, though, if you don't post it up on Twitter. Like, what's the point of even doing it?
Right. Well, to be fair, it was definitely a publicity stunt. She's like the owner of an adult magazine. Look at that. Look at you.
Hey.
Fucking
Are you
nailed
serious?
it.
Are you serious?
Julia Rose, founder and CEO of adult magazine Shag Mag, was among those arrested and took credit for the prank.
Oh my god, it's real. I knew it.
So yeah, I mean, if that I guess not that we had any doubt, but figured out how and why.
Thank goodness. That's what we're
Hollyboob.
all about here at Hardly Serious is investigative journalism.
Right. And
We've been saying that for the
boy,
last 26 weeks.
boy, did we get them. 28 weeks.
So, clearly the thing to do now is just to change the Hollywood sign to say something that isn't Hollywood.
Okay.
What would we all
course.
change the Hollywood sign to? So, like, Kenway's gonna post a picture and post it up on Twitter of like, haha, check me out in front of the blank sign. Ha ha ha. What are we putting on it?
Okay, what?
Well, okay.
I
Is
have
it
to
a
remove
team?
something.
Like for
hold on,
our team
I
or
have
for
to
individual?
remove something from the run because somebody in 2017 altered it to say Hollyweed already, so that's off the table.
No.
That's
Holly,
very true. Yep.
Hollyboobs and Hollyweed off the table. We can't use those.
No.
No.
What about
no,
Holly Dicks?
Holly Boob off the table. There was no S. It was
Sorry,
single.
correct.
Hollyboob.
Yeah, just making sure.
I'm going for
Holly
Holly.
Cock.
Scrabble.
Hollycock. Why?
I don't know.
I mean,
Because
that'd be
boobs are already taken, weeds are already taken. The only thing left we got is butt and cock.
Good point. The only thing I enjoy is cock.
I think what I would try to do is I would add a W in front of the Hollywood sign to make it
Okay.
holy, and then I'd have a space and it'd be wood. Holy wood.
Hollywood.
No,
And then this is where it really benefits you to be an OnlyFans member, and then the picture would be me doing this. Holy wood.
no. Here's the thing, though. You've already used the W to put it at the front of the word, so you'd then have to.
Correct.
You would move the W to the front, and then you would move the 2 O's to the end, so it would say "holy do."
What?
Right? Is
Wait,
that not
what?
the thing? But you got to use all the letters, man. You already talked about moving the W to the beginning of the word.
No. I keep everything the same except I put a space between the holly and the wood, and I make a whole brand new W and move it to the beginning of the thing.
Stupid.
I make my own letter. I can do whatever I want. I might even just do like this in front of the holly right there. It's a W. I'm making a W
that's
with my
good.
hands.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
with my other hand, I'm doing this.
Right. Of course. Of course.
For those
Excellent.
listening, he's gesticulating vigorously toward his crotch.
That's true. Yes. No.
That's like a
No.
90s power move.
Gesticulating vigorously.
Big Slice, I couldn't disagree more. I am gesticulating whatever you said towards my holy wood. Please.
Okay, that's a good point.
Good
I think
God.
it's stupid to use the letters already in the sign to spell other words. Knock the sign down entirely and then take a can of Big Red. Drink all the Big Red and just place the can where the sign now used to be. And people would be like, that's so much better.
Oh, I like where you're going with that. I like the idea of step 1, knock down Hollywood sign. I love it. Step 2,
Yeah, we don't
drink a
need
Big
it.
Red. I love it. The problem is
like it.
you need to repeat step 2 roughly 40,000 times. You need to drink 40,000 Big Reds, and then the cans of Big Red you stack up and make a new sign. I'm ballparking here. I assume
Okay.
it's going to take a lot of
Okay.
cans to spell
Okay, well, yeah,
on
'cause
the
you do have to
Hollywood
exit
Hills.
with a sign.
Well, yeah, I mean, you break one down, you put one new one up. Imagine this. You're walking downtown Hollywood by the Hollywood Hills. You're cruising, you're relaxing, you're in California. On the side in Big Red cans, it reads Big Red. I'm sorry. You only saw 2/3 of the sign. It says drink Big Red in 40,000 Big Red cans that I personally drank.
Well, now it's up to 80,000
love
Big
it.
Red cans.
Incredible. That's the whole plan
Wait.
right there. Drink Big Red.
But realistically, if you had 40,000 cans, you could just make it say red because the big is implied.
Oh yeah,
It's already
Right.
big.
It's
So
like
you just
Big
make it
K,
say
like,
red
remember Big
even
K?
bigger.
Yeah.
It's big.
And then
red.
people will
Yes.
drive by and be like, "Oh, hey, look, it's a big red sign." And then they go, "Ah."
I get it. I listened to that podcast with those 4 people who talk about Big Red and no one else on the planet knows what they're talking about. Yeah. Man, woo, good times. Aren't they funny?
Holy shit. I
What would
don't know.
How
everyone
many
else's
big reds do you
sign
think can fit in Kanye's house?
I once
What?
calculated the number of floppy disks which would fit into a house, and I calculated that it's less than like 1 terabyte worth of data.
Hold on.
That's
Hold on,
funny.
back up. Why?
Yeah.
What were you doing that day that you woke up and you were like, I'm going to calculate how many floppy drives
first
I
of
can
all,
fit
number
into
one-
a home? Also,
number
what
one,
do you
not a
use
very
for like
large
the average size
calculation
of a home?
use.
Number one, not a very large it's just by volume. So assuming like a house with X number of square feet, you could assume it's X feet high on average. So that gives you a volume. You can then calculate the volume of a floppy disk. It's like length times
Yeah.
width times height. Like it's not hard.
Of which I'm definitely very versed in and remember from all of my time in school.
I mean, it's not fucking hard, dude. It's a fucking floppy. It's
just Google
multiplication
it.
is the only needed
Something I
skill.
Google.
Operation. Yeah.
You need multiplication and division is the only.
and you have to know the formula, you know.
That's who gives a shit. You multiply 3 numbers together. That's the formula. You've discovered it, and then you compare one number to the other number, and you divide,
but still,
which is kind of like
what
inverse.
were you
multiplication.
doing in life that you were like, this is what I'm going to use my time for right
Who
this
gives
very
a shit? It took
second?
me like 5 minutes.
I'm just curious. What led you to
I'm
this
proud
set
of
of
you, dude.
events?
It's like it's not hard. You just do the math.
Okay,
what was I
Jake,
doing? I was
here,
bored.
I got
How the
another,
fuck
I
do
got
you-
another challenge for you. How many of those little teeny tiny little memory cards? How many 1 terabyte memory cards of the smallest factor of a terabyte can fit in a
What does that
house?
mean?
So you know
So
those
just
like little
find-
micro SD cards? Micro SD cards.
So specifically, what you're asking about is a micro SD card.
Correct. Take a micro SD card, 1 terabyte. How many of those fit in the house?
I could just be boring for the next 5 minutes and figure that out. Or I could come back to you next week, or like we'll put that at the end after like our couple minutes of vamping.
Yes,
over.
that thing.
I would have laughed
Well,
so
that's the big
hard.
one.
I want the small one.
Logan just held up for our audio listeners. Logan just held up an SD card in front of the camera, and it's so badly when I saw him holding something up to the camera, I really thought that he had like done the math on a piece of paper already and was holding.
So
it up
did
to
I.
show the
I was
answer.
waiting for
Oh,
it.
no.
I was like,
waiting for a
damn,
rough
boy.
estimate.
No, although I'm with Jacob though. That series of operations, not that hard. The hardest part would be finding the volume of such a small object.
That's why I used
Like the
floppy
volume
disks because
of,
they're
like,
Oh, but it's so
kinda thick.
easy. You just multiplied 3 numbers together and you got there. It's so why it's so hard.
It's because the dimensions of a floppy disk are easily measurable. It's like 1/4 of an inch by like 3 inches by 3 inches.
You
That's
use
not
the same,
difficult
just
to
go to
slice
Google
the
and get
same
the
spec. Holy
fucking thing to measure the SD card as you would the floppy disk.
Okay, how many floppy
Same
disks can
tool.
fit in the Hollywood sign?
Oh,
Probably 0 because the Hollywood sign is 1-dimensional. What? Sorry, it's 2-dimensional.
1-dimensional. What?
Sorry, 2-dimensional is what I meant. Like it's only got one surface. Shut up. I'm gonna cut this out, and all of you will look foolish.
See, that's where we've all been messing up this whole time. We've all been calling it the Hollywood sign. It's actually been the Hollywood line because it's been in 1 dimension.
It's true. I'm glad
Common
someone finally
misconception
realized.
there.
God,
It's actually
Producer
one
mix-
sound wave. It's when the line is a sound
Nah,
wave.
can't be a wave.
Wave.
Wave exists in
Right.
2
It's kind of
dimensions.
like
Oh,
I
it
don't
does it?
remember.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
kind of like
wave goes
those
forward and
animated
back.
shows back in the day where like when a 2D
Oh.
cartoon character would turn to the side and they would just disappear as like part of the
Oh,
animation
yeah.
style.
That's
It's like
Paper
that,
Mario.
but
Yeah.
it's the Hollywood sign. Yeah, Paper Mario, exactly like that.
2 dimensions.
But I mean, here's the thing, Mike. That's a two-dimensional surface, though, is what the character is two-dimensional. So when they turn sideways, they do it. The Hollywood sign actually does, in fact, do that. It does not say Hollywood if you look at it from the side.
But it doesn't disappear when you look at it from the side. There is still
has anyone
some width
looked at an
there.
image of the Hollywood sign from the side?
No.
And thought, damn, I could fit a lot of
Scattered,
floppy
right?
disks in that.
It is scattered,
Hollywood
right?
Sign from the
It's
side.
not like all the letters are collinear, is what Caleb's
like
asking.
offset.
So yes, it's scattered a little bit. Yeah, because they
It's
some of them
staggered
go like
like
up and
slightly,
down,
but
back
like
and forth on the
weird.
hill.
But like each letter is just the sign is like a big, like a sheet of paper, and then it's got some scaffolding to keep it up. So like you cannot put anything inside of it like you could a house.
Man,
A house
when
has
you
walls which would contain
There's no way.
items.
When you see this sign from the front, it makes so much sense. But when you look at it at any other angle, it is all kinds of fucked up. This is wild looking. It is
That's
like
what I say about my
scattered
holy
each and every
wood.
single way. God damn it.
I love it. Hollyboob.
I think if I was going to replace the sign, I would take, first step, I'm taking the H, right? Cutting the bottom off, okay?
Okay.
I want it to be like a tiny U, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna
Gotcha.
I'm gonna take that and one of the L's and put it inside of the wood part of the sign and remove an O. So it says like wood, like WOULD, right? Fuck all the other letters.
Ah,
Get rid of those.
Don't
and then
need
just
them.
like and then use whatever's left to like fashion some kind of question mark out of it.
Okay.
So it just says wood.
What?
And then when people will drive by, they'll just be inevitably confused, and it will ruin the rest of their day. Like, why does it wood? What?
Wood?
Why does it? What's happening?
I don't think it would. I think people would just not care.
You don't think it would?
No,
Like,
I don't.
would?
To prove my
Would
point,
it?
the answer to that question is no. To prove my point that it is both.
I just want to send
man,
somebody into existential crisis. Is all. It's like wood. I don't know. Would it? Would what?
So you give them an existential crisis, you build you have a can of Big Red there, and they're like, fuck yeah, I want Big Red. And then they go to drink it, they're like, no, because we already drank it. That's how you give them the crisis.
I like it.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm doing with the Hollywood sign? I'm taking
Yes.
back the Hollycock. This is what I'm doing with it. Okay. You know, in the 90s when they had those like underground raves and like flash parties where they
Yes.
would like take over a warehouse?
I don't go to those now.
Logan, remember that?
Yeah.
They used to have
I
these things in the
definitely know what
90s.
you're
It
talking
was like they would like take over like abandoned warehouses and hold these like underground like parties, like dance club parties. So what I'm doing is I'm changing the Hollywood sign to Hollywub. And what we're doing is we're storming
that's
the
not bad.
Hollywood sign. We're having an EDM concert. I'm setting my stage up there and I'm just wubbing away like wub, 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 wub. And we're just projecting to LA, baby. And it's one big party.
The
Anytime.
sad part. Go ahead.
Anytime I
gonna
hear
make
the
the
word
beat
wub,
drop.
I immediately think of Claptrap from Borderlands.
Dude, hard save.
Every
I'm
single
glad
time.
someone else does.
I can't separate the two in my mind. Wub, 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 wub.
Also, I'm going to posit we should force the city to change the name of whatever we change the sign to. So, like in
Oh, easy.
Caleb's
Ah.
words, where it's Hollywub, on all official documents, they're just gonna have to like erase Hollywood and write in Hollywub.
Yeah, easy. All we have to do is make a change.org petition. That shit matters.
All they do is just
true.
take like a shitty old hard eraser and try to erase. And you know how it always like smears the word.
Yeah,
They're like,
it tears
perfect,
the page.
fixed.
Perfect.
I mean, I
can't read
understand
it.
what you're talking about, but I never ran into that problem because I always used the superior product,
Oh,
Ticonderoga.
It's false.
pencil toppers.
It's false.
Pencil toppers
God, here we
are
go
the
again.
shit.
How did we circle
love
back around to
pencil
pencil
toppers.
toppers?
I used to agree with that
how did this
until in high
happen
school I
again?
discovered the putty eraser.
Oh, yeah.
Vastly
Putty eraser is
superior.
eraser.
Leaves
Eraser
no
is
eraser
amazing.
shavings.
What episode are we reliving right now? What we have done this.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We've done this before.
Pencil toppers. Well, Caleb was like, oh, the hard, shitty eraser. I never ran into that problem because I used pencil toppers, and I never had the hard, shitty eraser problem that couldn't erase anything.
You know what's the opposite of a hard, shitty
episode
eraser?
one?
One that's made out of putty. It never gets hard. It never gets shitty. It's good at
How is
erasing.
it possible that we've already come full circle? Are we out of things to talk about already? It's
I
only been
guess.
20 It's only
No.
been like 26 and a third episodes.
It's been a little more than that if you count all the ones that we scrapped.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Freshen
never
up the
happened.
content a little
You mean
bit.
the ones that we
Oh.
erased?
I'm sorry, I kept thinking about my other podcast again.
To freshen up the content a little, on the can of Big Red that I've now replaced the Hollywood sign with, on top of that's going to be one putty eraser.
Ooh.
No, Jake, you're thinking about this all wrong. That's how you're going to hold the cans together. It's one can of
Just
Big
putty
Red,
erasers?
one putty eraser. One can of Big Red, one putty eraser. Like that.
Tactical.
like it.
I like that.
There you go. See, I'm helping you out. And then on top, you put a pencil topper. On top, where it belongs.
Can
Again,
we?
Okay, we can
One
debate
pencil
that last
topper,
part.
3,999 putty erasers.
Can we atop the pencil topper, right? Can we also affix a tiny sign that just says "Listen to Hardly Serious"?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, that's going to be on the side. So when you look at my sign from the side, it'll actually say something.
That's genius.
Ooh, nice.
That's brilliant.
Oh, okay.
Unlike the
We're gonna put a
Hollywood
big
sign.
QR code up
Okay.
there. We're gonna
A
put a
QR
big
code
QR
that
code
takes
up
them to
there.
this podcast. The Hardly Serious
No,
podcast.
it's gonna be big red. It's just gonna be a big red sign from the front. From one side, it's gonna say "Listen to Hardly Serious," and on the other side, it's gonna have a QR code.
I like it.
And then
Where's
from
it
the
going?
back, it will obviously just say red, but it's now backwards.
Can I
No, we're thinking
alter
about
that? And from the back side, can it just be a giant picture of Doge?
Not a bad idea.
Promoting Dogecoin.
Look,
I can get behind that.
we never got to actually talk about it. I figured I'd just shoehorn it in here as an inside joke to myself, and then that was it. That's all we would do. That's all we get
Boo.
for
That's
it.
smart. That's the best way to make a podcast. Just make a bunch of in-jokes that the audience isn't aware of, and hopefully
Right.
they'll just be like, oh, yeah, I remember that from episode whatever.
Logan, let's be honest. No one fucking listens to this show. Are you kidding
I
me?
listen to
No
it.
one. It's just
I
me.
listen to
Yeah,
it.
and you get the joke. See, so I'm shooting for our target audience.
Good point.
I listen
Kenway,
to it.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
when I edit it every week.
Hey, you know what? You were just talking about that putty stuff.
Putty erasers, yeah. The superior eraser.
I was just thinking about that.
Do you want some?
No, but I was just thinking like, ew, the putty eraser gets stuck sometimes in your fingers, and so does like putty.
No.
What's the worst thing to get stuck in your hair?
Liquid cement. Oh, hold on.
that's
I'll take
good.
that back. Gorilla Glue.
Oh, that
back to
shit!
somewhat recent
timely.
news.
Oh my god!
Timely. Oh
I
man,
mean-
people are fucking dumb.
Are we excluding things like a flesh-eating virus, or like, is this only like common household objects?
I would say like you know what? I'm open to whatever.
Are those
I was gonna
dissimilar?
go with dick juice, but Gorilla Glue is the clear option there.
I mean, your mom seemed to have an okay time getting that out of her hair last night.
Oh,
I don't know.
fucking
fair point. A
roasted.
fair point was made. You know, good for her. She's a nice lady. She deserves to have a good time.
Yeah, and clean, healthy hair.
Oh yeah, she does.
Jesus Christ. Also, like Gorilla Glue, it says glue on the bottle.
I know.
It's very weird.
I know.
I just don't understand.
I'm sorry, are we
It's-
talking about Gorilla shampoo?
No, we're talking about the chicken
shut
trick.
down.
Didn't she glue her weave to her head or something? And it got
Sorry,
everywhere?
I assumed it was shampoo, and that's why it was in her
What
hair.
happened?
Somebody put actual Gorilla Glue in her hair, and just fucking people are dumb. I don't give a shit. There's nothing more to that story other than dumb person puts Gorilla Glue in their hair. Like, it's just...
Yeah, hopefully I never do anything like that. Luckily, my track record so far is sterling on not doing that, and I hope and expect to keep it that way.
Yeah, I think
you know
can go
what
the
though?
distance.
You know what else? You know what else is a real dumb thing to do?
Licking
What's that?
Nintendo cartridges for the Switch specifically.
Oh yeah,
Have you ever done it,
No, of course I've never done it.
Hey, which one tastes the best? Which game tastes the best?
Caleb?
I
Do
mean,
you
I
think
have no
you
idea.
do you think that you could taste them and know what game they were without looking at the front of them?
yes, I bet Caleb can. On Caleb's behalf,
bet
I'm going to say
Caleb
that Caleb
thinks that
can.
he can.
Extra Life 2021.
Yeah.
Is that another Extra Life game?
No, I can tell you how they taste
Dang,
by
that's a
the
stretch
texture on the
goal.
outside.
Caleb, I don't think I have ever had a harder time holding laughter inside of me than handing you the same color M&M over and
That was
over
funny.
and telling you to guess what color it was.
Honestly, the M&Ms I couldn't tell. I feel like there's
then-
some things I really can tell though,
The
but
chat was fucking dying the whole time.
I had fun doing it.
That was good shit. That was a lot of fun.
I had fun
I
getting
think
my
Caleb did that
bowels destroyed by
intentionally,
that
and he was
chip. I
like-
think was happening at the same time.
Yeah, that is very true.
What if I was just throwing you guys off? What if I
That's
come
what I'm
next
saying.
time and I fucking smash it out of the park?
Is this like a play? Is Caleb like protecting his secret identity as color
course.
taste man? How would that benefit
taste
you?
man.
That's the problem. He forgot his cape last time. He didn't bring
mask.
the uniform.
My cape
Powerless
holds
without his
all the
cape.
power.
Got him. Lulled him into a false sense of security by throwing the first fight. Now we're gonna come back revamped, better than ever in round two.
He's like a Saiyan. It's like he got beat down once and now he's going to come back stronger with a better sense of taste.
Good Lord.
Better able to discern colors solely by taste.
I like the idea that when Caleb goes Super Saiyan, his hair doesn't grow, but his tongue gets bigger.
like
It'll look like a lick of tongue
gets bigger.
at
Can it
Turbo
shoot?
Taster 2.
Can it shoot out of his mouth like the hair does? Like how the hair goes up and gets all spiky? His tongue just like shoots out and it's all
Yeah.
spiked and jagged.
Oh, I guess that's an option. Sure, I'll say yes. Why not?
You
Who's
haven't
gonna
even
stop
seen
Sir?
me at my ultimate power yet.
It also turns gold.
Such a shitty ultimate.
And he can only discern the colors while he's actively going. Similar
Does my
to
tongue
the
have to
sounds I
get
was
hard?
making on
Like,
the
does it
toilet.
have to like get like cartoon Yoshi hard where it's like, bah!
The fact that that show
I'm
was
gonna
ever
say yes.
popular still blows my mind.
Yeah,
Not because like
What? Dragon Ball Z?
I was not because like the
Yeah.
story wasn't good, but just like it's the slowest paced show I have ever
it's pretty
seen
bad.
in my entire goddamn
Yeah.
life. Like you would wait 5 or 6 episodes to see one fight start. It'd be like they'd be in the same place the whole time talking, and episode after episode would go by, you'd be like, what the fuck is happening right now? Why is this taking so long? I
I
got
recently
so
watched
sick.
the season with Beerus.
Neris.
Dragon Ball Super.
That one. I watched that one recently. Pretty good. I liked it. But you're right, Mike. It's like 3 episodes of setup for like probably 5 minutes of a fight.
And like, I just remember as a kid, I
There's a lot of
had to walk
screaming.
away because I just got so tired of like Majin Buu as a character. This is gonna get so granular
is
for all our
old.
fucking Dragon Ball Z fans out there. Majin Buu as a character was like fine, but with how the story, or how long all of their story arcs would take to set up and then pay off. By the time that he'd been beaten and resurrected 3 times, I was like, please just fucking give me a new enemy. Give me a new character.
Yeah.
I'm so done with this.
Yeah.
This arc is painful.
This arc, that was the whole show.
Yeah.
Oh no,
God.
yes, look, we killed Cell. Oh no, Cell's back in a different form. Oh look,
Oh, look.
Goku's
Frieza's dead. Oh.
Oh no, look,
comes
he's got a
Frieza.
4th alternate form. Ooh. Cool, great, thanks.
fair.
Oh, look.
That's a fair
The
point.
heroes are beating the villains so thoroughly. The heroes have to just give the villains power, and the villains still lose. Like, to me, it was weird, the lack of, like, dramatic tension in Dragon Ball. Because, like, even if the characters died, which that rarely happened, you could just bring them back with a different set
Yeah,
of
they just
Dragon
came back.
Balls from
Right.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
There was no consequences for anything they did.
Did you guys ever
Right.
watch? I think it was just called Dragon Ball. Like the when
No, the first one.
was supposed to be like the prequel series or whatever it was. It has
wasn't-
like
I mean, it
wasn't
came out
it?
first,
I am
so
real
I'm not sure I'd
shaky
call
on
it a
this.
prequel.
Correct. It's
Did it come
Dragon
out
Ball
first?
Z was the sequel.
Yeah.
In the same way that, like, Rocky was not a sequel to anything. It's just when they made the next one was
Yeah.
the sequel.
So Kenway,
I
what you're
just- I
saying is
thought-
like
I
they
thought
made
it came out
Rocky
the other way
2,
around. That's my fault.
and then retroactively they made Rocky. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Dragon Ball came out, and then Dragon Ball Z
That
came out. That
was-
was like a time skip version.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it would be the first time that ever happened in fucking media.
I mean, you're right, but
That was just
is
how I
it
thought that
happened.
it played. I'd never heard of Dragon Ball
Nah.
till after the fact, so I thought that it that it came out that way. In any case, after about 3 episodes of listening to fucking Kid Goku be like, "Nah!" the whole time, I was done. I couldn't keep going. It was so done. He just cried obnoxiously for like 3 episodes.
See, you haven't, like, been training with Yoshi's Island. Apparently that was the thing with Yoshi's Island, where Baby Mario was just so annoying that people just stopped playing the game.
Wow, that's funny.
Which, like, fair.
Hello, audience. I'm talking directly to you now, which is new because I haven't ever done that before. Hey, thanks for listening to the show Hardly Serious. If we have an ad this week, it'll go right here. Okay, it happened. It did the thing. The ad happened.
What a great ad read. Kenway, great job. Your voice
Thanks.
acting, top notch.
You know, I always
If
did
you-
think that I would be okay as a voice actor person.
I wish you would stop talking now.
doubt.
If you want to be as good as that ad read was, go ahead and go on to onlyfans.com/hardlyserious or to patreon.com/everydaypodcasts and give us money. I mean, be good fans by supporting us with money. Or, like, just mail it to me specifically. I'd be fine with that, too.
Hey, Big Slice, that was one of the best suggestions and recommendations that I have heard in a long, long time. Since the last time one of our viewers left a question or a suggestion at our email, which is
partedlyserious@everydaypodcasts.co.
that email again is
partedlyserious@everydaypodcasts.co.
that's where you can email us. If you have a question or a suggestion about the show, just drop it right there at
partedlyserious@everydaypodcasts.co.
I just realized I don't think Logan's ever done one of the mid-rolls, has he?
I did the second ever mid-roll for this show. Hardly serious at everydaypodcasts.co.
Hey, there it is.
Hey, I remember it.
What's the hashtag they should use?
Hashtag drink big red, hashtag Lil Fudge, hashtag big slice,
fuck's sake.
hashtag hardly serious.
None of
God.
those are right. All the first ones are on. Just the last one. That's the one that you use.
Nah, use all of
This
them.
is a
It's like
train wreck.
Instagram. You get as many hashtags as you want.
Oh, hey, speaking of Instagram, we have one of those now. But you should, if you do the Instagram thing, you should follow us on Instagram, because if we talk about things in the show that have relevant visual content, I'm going to start posting them over there. Kind of like the tree from last week that is definitely not a cell phone tower.
Dude, that tree.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I told you.
What else are you going to tell him, Caleb?
I'm also going to tell you to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, you are.
And also check us out on our video versions on YouTube if you haven't already. And Mike, I think it's time to go back to the show. What happened?
Caleb's like, pull the plug. Pull the plug. I don't want to talk anymore. Oh, man. Can someone just, we had segments, can someone just take us to one of them? I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, hey, segments. You know what, Kenway? I was preparing this segment the other day. I'm really glad you brought up segments.
Oh, good.
And, it's one of everyone's favorite segments, Altered Headlines, where I've curated some fun headlines, but I've replaced one word with a different word. And I will present you with the headline, and you'll have to discern which word I inserted, and then you'll have to discern what the real word was.
All right,
Yeah,
insert
those
it,
were-
baby.
Easy.
Those weren't, yeah, that was, yep, I followed that all the way
Well, good thing you know how to play the
through.
fucking game because we've
It's
done
a
it
good
before.
thing you've played the game before, and that the audience collectively has more than your number of brain cells. Florida man missing for 18 days, quote, survived on mushrooms, end quote.
Easy.
I could repeat that one time if you want. Florida man
Yeah,
missing
repeat
for 18 days, survived on mushrooms.
Easy. Mushrooms.
I'm gonna go mushrooms.
Must have survived on something else.
Yeah. I'm on that train too. I think it's mushrooms.
I'm going to go with, it's only one word, right?
It is only one word on this
It
one.
Is Florida man one or two words?
2 words. Florida, space, man, space, missing, space,
Well,
4,
I didn't know.
space,
Sometimes
18,
people
space,
call
days.
Florida man a single person. Florida man's like a
Could be.
personality, you know?
My
kinda
education
not, though.
would tell me that Florida and man
yeah, I'm gonna
are
have to
separate
go
words.
with like I'm gonna go 18 days. I don't think it was 18. I want to say it was like 36 hours.
Ah,
1.5
so
days.
we've got 2 for mushroom and 1 for 18. Nobody
Yeah.
right? The improper word was Florida.
Come again for Big Fudge.
The improper word was Florida. It was a different kind of man missing for 18 days. Quote, survived on mushrooms, end quote.
So obviously it's a different place other than Florida. I've now been enlightened to this. You know what it must be? It must be a 1,500 square foot house, which is filled with approximately 2.07 billion micro SD cards.
I like that.
The
I
number
like it.
of micro SD cards you could fit in a 1,500 square foot house.
Ah, okay.
I like that tie back.
Does anybody else?
I've got the correct answer here. So it's for everybody. So I apologize for not bringing the comedy. I'm gonna go with Floridian man.
Man.
I like that. Very
Got 'em.
close. I wouldn't have had to
Man.
do much work.
0 other states that this would have happened in.
I
Floridian man.
appreciate the fact that you're both wrong and also boring. I respect that.
What else do I bring to this show? That's like my whole game.
I'm gonna go with a homeless man.
Oh, that's just sad.
That's not
I got nothing.
how many H's. Unfortunately, in the true word, no H's. Australia man missing for 18 days, quote, survived on mushrooms,
Ooh.
end quote.
Australia, Florida, they might as well be the same. It's hot, it's muggy, there's crocodiles. It's all the same.
That's what they call it. They
Sweat.
call Australia the Florida of the Eastern Hemisphere.
Honestly, I'm just surprised.
It kind of is.
I'm surprised the conditions in Australia are habitable enough that mushrooms are able to grow there.
Or people.
But see, there's all kinds of
It's-
shit growing in Australia. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
Like
I'm
what?
more surprised that the mushrooms didn't kill
Name one
the
thing.
Australian man. And I'm also surprised the mushrooms weren't, like, made out of hellfire or something. Because it's Australia. It's
what I'm
like
saying.
everything's got to be weird and deadly.
Hashtag relevant.
Yeah,
It's
everything's
like in
gonna be
Legend of
poisonous.
Zelda. It's like in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You go into the ice area and you find like the ice berries made out of ice that protect you from the heat.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely Zelda logic. Absolutely, that is. That makes sense.
I said Breath of the Wild. I described an exact situation. You're making fun of me.
No, I was agreeing with you because it's fucking ridiculous. I apologize that came across sarcasm. That's a real thing, and it's fucking dumb.
Jake, I went through that sounded like sarcasm. Something
Yeah,
I
I
would not be
apologize.
sarcastic about on this podcast specifically is the McDonald's menu. McDonald's
Ooh.
customer turns heads after sharing the menu item you should, quote, never, end quote, consume.
Like, so the only thing in quotes is the word never?
Yes, I don't know why. I didn't do that. Here, I'll give you this one for free. I did not insert quotes. The quotes were around the word that may or may not be never. I might have changed the word never. I did not change the quotes around the word.
I'm gonna
give that to a Big Fudge one more time?
Sure, if you want, you can check the live show.
Well, that doesn't
channel
help
where
the
I'm
audio audience
posting it.
either.
The audio listeners, well, you can hit the go back 15 seconds button.
Mick.
Or McDonald's customer turns heads after sharing the menu item you should, quote, never, end quote, consume.
I'm gonna take perhaps a controversial stance here. Instead of Logan really broke from tradition. Instead of inserting a single word, he inserted those fucking quotation marks around the word never. So the word never is fine. It's just the two quotation marks is what has been
fair.
inserted.
That's
Okay.
a good answer, because that's clearly the one bit of grammar that does not belong in the headline.
I'm gonna say customer.
Okay.
They stole a burger or a menu item.
Customer's good. Customer's good.
What else would it be? Like their lawyer?
It could
McDonald's
be.
lawyer?
It could be McDonald's.
could be.
Somebody else, like a manager, an
Could be
employee.
like, could be a manager. Could be a
lackey,
worker.
maybe a fan.
I-
They don't eat there. They're just a fan.
I believe it's customer, but I'm gonna say that it's the
I'm only a
word
fan of
never,
McDonald's.
Okay.
just to be different.
That's an option. Lil Fudge, undefeated so far. The improper word was consume.
Wow.
Here we go. McDonald's customer turns
All
heads
right.
after sharing the menu item you should, quote, never, end quote, blank.
All right, look. So here's the thing. You know how like most like comedy and sketch acts have the straight man, right? And then there's me, the boring man.
Okay.
Which is like the guy who tries to be the straight man but isn't
Wait,
good
you're
at that
saying
either.
Oh, you're saying
Like, he
straight
isn't
people can't be
funny.
boring.
He isn't funny, nor can he play like the shocked person all the time and be good at that. So he's just boring. That's all.
I can't
that's all
wait
there
to
is
see
it.
where you're going with this.
I'm gonna say that the full sentence is McDonald's customer turns head after sharing the menu item that you should never order.
Okay.
That's basically the same
That's a-
thing.
But it's
That's
not
a very
the
long
same
walk
thing.
for a
Way
drink
to
of
say
water,
that.
but okay.
Not the same thing. It is very different.
So
Two different
they want you
parts of
to
the
eat it but not
process.
order it? So you should steal it. I was right.
Could be.
I think you guys are
Anybody
both
else
wrong.
have anything?
Yeah, I think.
I haven't
I'm
said
sorry.
anything, so that's good.
Oh, you haven't?
Well, I was
Oh,
vamping
what
on
do you
Mike,
have?
and now I'm gonna let you go so I have time to think of
Yeah,
something.
he was making fun of me for saying something totally normal. What else
Oh,
is
that's
new?
funny. Yeah, well, that's wrong because the McDonald's CEO turns heads.
She's a customer.
The
that's
McDonald's
good.
customer turns heads after sharing everything on the menu. Wait, what? I'm just gonna say the word is never. The word is not consumed. It's deep fried. Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna go with a much
Great.
better
I like how
option.
we've had two giant, lengthy marathon walks to get someplace totally meaningless. Big Slice, what you got?
I'm gonna
I
say
ran to vamp.
the reason people were surprised that he shared it was because he said it's the menu item you should never share. So they're like, it was you.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. That's very meta. Unfortunately, Big Slice, you were incorrect. Even less fortunately, somehow, with the marathon that Big Fudge took us on, he was
Oh.
correct.
Yeah!
McDonald's customer turns head with menu item you should quote never end quote order. I cannot believe it. I was shocked when he took us 15 miles away from McDonald's to talk about whatever the hell he was talking about with the boring man. Total tangent, and then somehow teleported back to the headline and got it right.
So what is it?
Flabbergasted.
So what's the headline about?
So the headline.
I can't know what that
wasn't
was.
deep
Where that came from.
I can't believe it. So a TikToker by the name of Matt did the math.
I don't
on
like that
how
word.
much-
Can we not say that?
TikToker?
It's a word.
I don't like that.
I wish
You're
it
stuck in
wasn't.
the past, dude. No, I'm gonna override that. It stays
We're
in.
gonna
TikToker stays in.
override. Oh, I mean, so is YouTuber not a word that we can say?
I just don't like TikTok.
No,
It sounds too
that's,
close to other things.
That's a platform that, people respect. But move on.
Anyways.
Wait, yeah, you're right. People love YouTube. Respect the heck out of
Yeah, they
YouTube.
really respect that.
Yeah, no
Mad
kidding.
respect. So
They haven't
game
done anything
respect in game.
They haven't done anything wrong.
A person named Matt, who is on the popular video share platform TikTok, did the math on how much each McNugget costs for each denomination of nugget meals.
Ooh.
So, you've got the 4 McNugget meal, the 6 McNugget meal. That's all I know because that's all that was listed in the article. But I assume they have more.
They have a 10.
There's a 10.
At Matt's
There used to be a 20.
local... Cool. How many others did there used to be?
There used to be some at
50?
Matt's local.
There 25?
I think there was a 50 once, wasn't there?
There
It
was a
like
50 piece.
Like a buy your family nuggets thing. You got
Once
50
upon
nuggets.
a time, they had an approximately 2.07 billion nugget meal, but for obvious reasons, they scrapped that.
That could be tough.
It's too hard to keep
They couldn't fill
inventory.
the
Yeah.
house.
Fortunately, or unfortunately for Matt's local McDonald's, he broke down the price of a 4-piece nugget meal and a 6-piece nugget meal. For the 4-piece nugget meal, each nugget costs $0.33. That's right, 33 cents per nugget. The 6-piece nugget meal costs 58 cents per nugget.
Whoa.
Come again for Big
Almost-
Fudge?
Almost twice as much per nugget by buying the 6-piece nugget meal as opposed to the 4-piece McNugget meal. The only way I can rationalize this, because I had to pay to read the whole rest of the article. I cut
kids'
the
meal.
first half. I'm like, I'm done. The only thing I can think is that this person's local McDonald's recognized that their 6-piece nugget meal was a better seller than the 4-piece nugget meal. So their local one was like, well, let's just increase the 6-piece meal by $1.50 because that's what people are ordering anyway. It's not like we're going to dissuade them from ordering the 6-piece McNuggets. But then he broke into his local McDonald's and he was like, I shouldn't say broke, he barged in when they were open for business. He's not, as to my knowledge, Matt, the TikTok person, is not a felon.
But if he is,
was
I would
like,
then be
"Don't-"
correct in this game.
You would be, that's true. And he was
That's
like,
true.
don't buy the 4-piece nugget meal. It's way more, it's way cheaper to buy the 4-piece than it is to buy the 6-piece nugget meal. So there you go.
You know what I think it is? So he was talking about the meal. I hypothesize it's the 6-piece nugget meal is an adult's meal. The 4-piece is a kid's meal.
Correct.
So by getting the adult's meal, you get bigger fries and a bigger drink, and that's factored
As a
into the
McDonald's
cost.
connoisseur, I would say I'm a connoisseur because I eat it about 3 times a week or 4 times a week.
Not a good idea.
Yes, that's true. The 4-piece
Yeah,
is the
that's
mighty
a really
kids
bad
meal.
idea, dog. When you know that
like
you can just
McDonald's,
buy a
what can I say?
But
sure.
who
assume
the fuck
so.
is doing that?
Me.
Yeah, who wants to waste their time with that?
The
Here's
only
why
thing I would do
hold
is
on, I have a reason for this though.
No.
I do that with
No.
universally every single McDonald's order I've ever made. I never order the meal, and here's why. If I order the fries, they will 100% of the time, without exception, they will come out cold and mushy and with no salt on them. If I don't order fries and anyone else in my car or vicinity does, they are hot and fresh and wonderful. I cannot go to McDonald's, order fries, and get fresh, delicious McDonald's fries. They are always been sitting out and mushy and gross. If I
You know
order
what the
them.
problem is?
So I stop.
You didn't go to McDonald's. You went to Burger King and just got the 2-pound bag of potatoes.
Yeah, get roasted.
That's what I'm
Burger King.
hearing.
You flame broiled bitch.
Excuse me, there's no salt on these? Sir, those are raw potatoes.
I wondered why there was so much skin on them.
It's real crunchy.
Oh
We got another one of them headlines?
I do. This next headline that I've altered. Meet High Speedy. All one word, High Speedy. Capital H, capital S. The hydrogen-powered Formula One race car that literally flies at 153 miles per hour.
Well, I mean, this is obvious.
Meet
word is
High Speedy. the blah, blah, blah.
The word is flies. They say it's a car and it flies? No, I'm calling bullshit.
Okay, that's fair. I understand why you would say that.
I'm going to say the word is high speedy. I think it's actually a different name.
Okay, that's fair. I see why you'd think that, even though high speedy shouldn't be one word, but it is. Kenway, what you got?
That's tough. I can't choose. It's too hard.
Flip a coin.
Just like
That's why I went
Hollyboob.
with high speedy.
But high speedy is so good.
But that also is very much a Logan word that he would swap out. Like, I feel like if Logan was going to swap out a word with like another word, like high speedy would be like the name that Logan would pick for it.
Nah.
Can we like incorporate what was the game we played a couple of weeks ago where we had to sell Logan on like some kind of this or that? I want to incorporate
I don't know if we
that.
ever made a name for it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I need Jacob and Caleb to like pitch me why I should pick their word.
Okay. It's because a car cannot literally fly. Boom, done. If you want to be a contrarian, you could say the word is literally, just to be different than mine.
Yeah, it's true. That literally flies.
Right, it almost flies.
Could be.
God damn, that one's good too. Fuck, man.
I'm going to go car.
This might be the hardest one you've ever given
Changing my
me,
answer
Logan.
to car. It's actually a
Formula One
hydrogen-powered
race wagon?
Formula One race. What are those things? Where the drone?
Bird.
Drone. It's a racing drone.
Okay, I don't
I
want
can
to
see
pick
that.
any of them, so I'm just gonna say high speedy because it sounds ridiculous and I love it. I cannot.
told you.
I want this. I want this to be a trick question where Logan's like, "No, I changed nothing. This headline was just golden." Because I love this. I love this sentence so much.
Unfortunately, one word was changed. Fortunately, Caleb and Big Fudge each get 1 point because the word that I inserted was high speedy.
I knew it.
Wait, but he changed his answer. He said car.
Oh,
He did
come
say
on.
car.
I was giving you
Your
an example.
last word. You said that you were changing yours to car.
No, I was giving you an example.
Jacob, I'm gonna need you to rewind this real quick and go back to him saying that he changed his answer to car just so I can feel validated.
I want to go car. I'm changing my answer to car.
And then also, I believe you still have the confetti effect probably somewhere in your. I will take that right now as well.
No. Mike, this is what I have for you.
All right, well, I don't need to stand for this shade. Someone give me a better name. What's the name of the hydrogen-powered Formula One car that literally flies at 153 miles per hour?
Meet Velociraptor Jones, the hydrogen-powered Formula One race car that literally flies at 153 miles an hour. I will take my winner's cake, please.
Okay, does anybody else want to agree with Kenway so you can share the winner's cake?
No. I'm going to go with meet Big Chungus, the hydrogen-powered Formula One race car that literally flies at 153 miles per hour.
Okay, it's a good
Big
answer.
chunk.
It's another really good answer considering that's the one word that I took out. Big Fudge, what you got? Big
Wait,
Slice, what
I
you
got
got?
another one. I got
Apologies.
another one. Can I go again?
Oh, that's good. Yes.
Cool.
Give me
Yeah,
another
sure.
one.
Meet Carrier West, the hydrogen-powered Formula One race car that literally flies at 153 miles an hour.
It's another
I
answer.
wanted to say Lightning McQueen. I wanted to say Lightning McQueen, but it's two
Caleb's also
words.
got Lightning McQueen
Lightning
and Big
McQueen.
Chungus.
Are you guys fucking playing Blackout over here and I'm playing bingo? I'm gonna actually.
Big Slice, if you want two, you can take two if you want.
I'm just gonna say hydrogen. Why not?
Meet Hydrogen,
Hydrogen.
the hydrogen-powered Formula One race car that literally flies at 150 miles per hour. So, to recap for the audience, in case you've lost track, we've got Carrier West, we've got Velociraptor Jones, we've got Big Chungus, we've got Lightning
Yep.
McQueen, and we've got Hydrogen.
It's only one word. I'm the only one who could possibly be correct. How is mine any
that
dumber
is-
than theirs?
Well, your odds weren't much better
How
than
about-
everyone else's. Meet Carcopter. That's the name. The real name is Carcopter. Meet Carcopter, the hydrogen-powered Formula One race car that literally flies at 153 miles per hour.
They called it carcopter.
Carcopter. Carcopter.
I would argue that with the exception of Jacob, all of our answers were better.
100%.
I agree.
Ow.
But like, it actually flies though, so I was technically correct about this, and that. Well, I guess not. I was more
you
outraged about the use
were
of
the
literally.
exact opposite of correct. 'Cause you said that it didn't
Hydrogen,
fly.
known for flying.
It's hydrogen powered. I was annoyed at the fact that they said literally fly when it was introduced as a car. I'd argue that's no longer
why
classified
is
as
it
a fucking car.
Okay.
Well,
that
see, here's
brings
the
up a
thing.
good point. GM just
for it.
released the new Cadillac that's a flying, self-driving Cadillac. It's the future vision that they see
does
for
it
this car.
mean?
It's a self-driving, flying Cadillac. Cadillac.
It's, if
Like
you
a car
tell me
that
the
flies.
fucking FAA is not going to have a problem with a car, but it's a car, it's not restricted to fucking air travel regulations, they're going to be pissed off.
Imagine some teen flying and texting over your house, and you're like, "Get out of my airspace!"
They're not going to hear you. I don't know why you'd say that.
Yeah, I don't know. You could yell at them all you want, unless you've got like a megaphone or telepathy. I think they're just gonna keep flying over your airspace.
Fucking 12-year-olds with their flying
stutter?
cars and self-driving and texting
What?
phones.
Yep, 12-year-olds. 12-year-olds are gonna
Future's looking
self-drive.
crazy.
12-year-olds
years.
cannot drive cars now.
The future looks
I
crazy.
am going to refuse to think that thing's name is Carcopter, and I'm going to go back to calling it Velociraptor Jones.
Sure,
Sure.
you can do that. That's legal. It's a free country.
Carye Velociraptor West.
Jones.
I like that. That's the
Jones.
best one.
The second.
Junior. McQueen.
The first one blew up. First one got a divorce. Oh,
That's too soon.
Damn.
Roasted.
sorry, Kanye. Kanye watch.
Cartier.
The only thing that I'm sad about Kanye Watch is we didn't get to do enough of them for me to develop some sort of like transition.
We couldn't
at the
even
beginning
create a
to be
narrative.
like you hit the button and it's like Kanye Watch.
Kanye.
Ah, I like how Kenway's
bow,
segments get their own introductions and songs, but nobody else's does.
Oh, I know.
The only one that ever got an introduction was Caleb's. Thank you very much.
mine.
Five Finger Death Punch
I'm aware.
got a legit metal song.
But you, when we brainstormed, you were like, "Oh, what? Like we're not gonna lead any segments with songs because that's tacky and overdone." And then you're like, "Oh yeah, Kanye Watch. I'm Kenway. This is my segment. Kanye Watch."
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Should we do another one or should I just outro?
We can do whatever.
That was 3 minutes ago. We're at, yeah, okay. The
been
episode
going
for
for
the
long
record
enough?
is probably going to be about 46 minutes long.
Great. That sounds perfect. You got anything
Okay.
else you guys want to do before I wrap it up?
I'm good.
If you want to reinforce how many micro SD cards fit in a house, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Reinforce. All right, everyone, your homework for next week: memorize the number of
I'm gonna
micro
toss it to
SD
you.
cards.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Hardly Serious, episode number 27, and there's at least 27 SD cards in it. Jacob, how many was it?
Oh, thank goodness. It's close, like 2.07 billion. Both
Yeah.
of those numbers were there.
Yeah, there's
number.
at
That's
least
true.
27 in that many. That's like at least 27's many. Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
This is now lame. Get on with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now it's lame. Now the
That is
podcast
now.
is
You
lame.
made it lame. I made it cool.
Oh,
I'm like
thank you guys so
Bill
much for
Nye
listening to this
bringing
week's
math
episode.
to the kids.
I
You're like
appreciate-
fucking Beekman bringing math to people who don't care.
Look, as soon as you guys downloaded the episode, we got the play for it. So that was great. But if you listen to now, I don't know why you chose to do this with your day, but you're the MVP and I appreciate you and I hope that you do it again next week. As for this show, do we have any words of wisdom to leave our lovely, lovely audience with for the week before we meet again next Tuesday?
Drink Big Red.
You heard the man. Do it. Get the Big Red. Right now. Do it. Now.
Hit the big
Now.
red button.
Now.
Let's end it.